Queensland's 4-day school week. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and let's have a talk about this new trial for a 4-day school week here in Queensland. Probably the dreams are being answered by every school kid in the state. Now, Rachel and I have 7 children, with one hopefully arriving before New Year's Eve, and we've been homeschooling. We've been homeschooling right from the beginning. We did 1 term of our child trying out a normal school, and we've really enjoyed it. Now, both Rachel and I aren't homeschooled, but we decided on this for a multitude of reasons, and we seem to enjoy the lifestyle. And we do it we started with a distance education school, now we do it at the home education unit, so we develop a curriculum. Rachel develops the curriculum, and we align it with the Australian curriculum, mainly on reading, writing, and arithmetic. And we add in other units to plug the holes of the additional components we need to achieve. She actually took a lot from the distance ed school that we went to originally, and sadly they completely changed their whole program, so we left. But we've been doing 4 days for some time now, for a few years, because we generally have 1 day a week where, because there's the stereotype of the antisocial homeschool kids, which is it's bullshit, okay? You kind of overcompensate. And the parents, like all the mothers, they seem to be a lot more friendlier. So they all make friends. They all run things, co-ops, and we have dancing and swimming and all of these activities. So we've always had 1 day a week where it wasn't schoolwork. So we've had it on 4 days. How we run it is the kids get their journal, and they have their essentials they need to complete every week. And the essentials need to get done before they can have any fun time, which is usually they want to play some Minecraft because we lock it all down. So they have to tick that off and manage it. So a 4-day school week to us seems perfectly normal, perfectly achievable. But I mean, we have a lot more flexibility than the school system. If the kids don't happen to get their work done during the week, they'll have to do it on the weekend. And that's why, if you're a parent, you got kids, we use Microsoft, their Xbox system, Xbox Live, family safety, to control the children's access to the online world. And it's also good to manage, getting them to do the things they don't want to do at school sometimes. But so that's our experience with a 4-day week. Now, we're unique. We're very different. We both work from home, so it's a different world. How is a 4-day week going to work for someone that is on a normal job, does the school drop off and pick up? I tell you, I don't miss that. And needs the kids to be in school for 5 days a week? Is our education system, and this is the real question that we have to ask, is our education system there to educate our children, or is it a glorified babysitter? You answer that question for me in the comments below, everyone, and I'm sure it'll get some heated debate going. But let's have a look at this article here discussing it. Because I can see the benefits for it. In high school, honestly, we didn't need to go there for 5 days a week. There should be much more flexibility and maturity there. Primary school, it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough for working class parents who can't manage. You know what will happen? If this is all public school, you're going to see more and more people go over to the private sector. Guaranteed. It'll be a point of difference. So Queensland public schools to trial new hours and a 4-day week. So Queensland has introduced flexible study options for all public primary and secondary schools to begin next year, with several schools already proposing shorter school weeks. The shake-up, which was circulated to principals on Monday, includes options to allow students to study from home 1 day per week, or to compress school hours over fewer school days. Is that longer days? Because school already finishes at 3, doesn't it? or 3 or 3:30. I don't remember. And I mean, are they going to? Well, when I studied architecture, we compressed everything to one day. So our full-time workload was done on one day. It was usually from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And that meant you could work 4 days in the office. It was fantastic. Under the blueprint, schools can shorten their school week or change class times depending on teacher availability or staff and student well-being. Now, if only, I mean, in principle, let the schools decide. Some parents are going to be frustrated, but then they should have the option to go to different schools. This is where we need to get like a voucher system that follows the parents from school to school and they're made aware of it. So I'd like to see the schools have complete freedom over their interpretation of the curriculum. That'd be interesting. While principals must ensure students who attend school outside scheduled school hours are supervised due to transport or family issues, the policy otherwise takes effect when schools change start or finish times by more than 30 minutes. The new rules can apply to the entire student body or specific cohorts. I mean, that would make sense for senior, particularly grade 11 and 12. You should be able to come and go as you please then, or even to some extent maybe one day a week to get them prepared for university and postgraduate studies or working in a trade, taking on more responsibility. Because it can be a bit of a culture shock when you hit uni and you realise no one gives a shit about you. The Queensland Secondary Principal Association President, Mark Breckenridge, told NCA Newswire he was certainly glad the state was moving ahead with the new policy. The policy so far puts a framework in place that allows schools to have more flexible ways of learning for students, which is not a new thing in Queensland, he said. Well, now they just need to do it with a curriculum. So you can go to a school that will advertise that we're focusing just on reading, writing, arithmetic, and this is gone, this woke shit is gone, or you can go to a special super duper woke school if you want. Give people the choice. Students in 11 and 12 might be studying a university subject or a TAFE course or undertake an apprenticeship, and I really do see this as a positive step in terms of encouraging innovation. Mr. Breckenridge said the QSPA had been very much involved in the consultation behind the new policy and said it helped encourage recognition that learning takes place in and outside of the classroom. I would argue much more learning takes place outside the classroom than people realise. Schools will need to carry out robust consultation across the broader school community before undertaking a trial, which will be at a minimum length, likely a semester or year, before reviewing the trial. Wouldn't it suck if you went to school and you got half a year where you had the freedom and they yanked it away from you? Oh, boy. I mean, I heard this was done in place mainly for staff shortages. Yeah, that's the other side of it. The procedure is very clear about reviewing a new procedure. What? If it becomes permanent after 2 years and then continuing to review things. Even if only the first step is taken, it's certainly a conversation starter for schools. The latest of the state's schools to propose a potential 4-day week trial is the Queensland Academy's Creative Industries, located in Queensland University of Technology, Kelvin Grove campus. QACI principal Mick Lee recently notified parents of a possible change via email, according to the Courier Mail. This compressed week would have the same amount of contact hours and curriculum time compressed into 4 days, the email read. I mean, this is going to suck for parents who need their kids to be at school, who can't provide that supervision. I mean, when you're, a teenager, by then you should be able to be at home alone. Or out and about, or living your life. Go study at the library, the state library, or do something else. The change was proposed to assist well-being for students and reduce cognitive stresses which lead to declining attendance and burnout. So just going to school is causing these issues. Okay. I was talking to a principal the other day, and she said one of the things to come out of this whole pandemic and COVID and people going away from school is that they want it to come back. They wanted to have that community again, which they'd missed. So, but I mean, this is only 1 day a week. I mean, do people even chuck, sickies or wag anymore? Does that even happen nowadays with kids? At QACI, the overall attendance rate is 86.9%. 19.5% of students have chronic absenteeism. Okay, well, there we go. That answers it. Less than 80% attendance. Boy. Wednesday was decided upon as the day off, with the intention to break up the cognitive load for students. A lot of vet and university courses are offered on Wednesday. Mondays have a lot of public holidays. Fridays may not be as useful for providing access to campus. This day would be for independent learning. Students may elect to come into campus to work, study at home, undertake TAFE or tertiary courses, or undertake well-being activities. 12 teaching staff, 1 head of department, and 1 executive will be on site on each Wednesday per week. This would be a rolling rotation. So that's it. That's why they're doing it. They're reducing the numbers. Interesting. I mean, it's going to be great for the kids. They're going to have much more flexibility, particularly at high school level. But at primary school level, because that's what they said here. I thought high school, yeah, sure, but primary, that's going to be public primary. That's going to be a much more of an impact on parents. You can't leave your 8-year-old, your 10-year-old at home alone. Corinda State High, located in Brisbane South, recently proposed similar changes, while multiple schools in the state southeast have already put in place flexible school hours. So there we go. Well, let's have a bit of a chat about this, eh? So what do you reckon, guys? I can see the benefits of it. I can see the advantage of the flexibility. I mean, for high school, this frankly is a no-brainer. Particularly year 11, year 12, and year 10, you should be mature enough to handle the flexibility. I mean, what if someone wanted to work on another day? What if a kid wanted to work? They had a job lined up. Why not? Let them do that. Primary, I think it's going to cause a lot of issues for some parents. It's going to be interesting to see if more people go to the private sector, if they maintain their 5-day schooling education. What do you reckon, guys? Let me know in the comments. Are you for or against it? As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.